Hey guys, and welcome to Cool Vision. In this video we're going to be talking about New York City. Some call it the least American city. No wonder 55% of households don't have a car here. It's the most populous city in the US with a population of 8.8 million and 20 million people living in the metro area. Let's learn more about New York. New York City is situated on a large natural harbor composed of 5 boroughs. Block has a literal meaning here. All streets are perpendicular and form a grid. Only the southern tip of the island is knocked out of the clear geometry, where the streets don't form a grid. And Broadway, which runs diagonally across the island. The Commissioner's Plan of 1811 was the original design for the streets of Manhattan, which put in place the rectangular grid plan. Pretty convenient. The basic thing to remember is that avenues run north and south, while streets run east and west. Over the course of the 19th century, New York City's population grew from 60,000 to 3.4 million. In 1886, the main symbol of New York was erected on a small island near Manhattan, the Statue of Liberty. It was donated by France. Immigrants from all over Europe are flocking here. Oh, by the way, see those ATVs? That's illegal. The NYPD continues to crack down on illegal dirt bikes and ATVs, having seized 565 of them in the last 3 months. But we'll talk about crime in New York later in this video. The Big Apple's most famous street is the Fifth Avenue. It crosses Manhattan from north to south, and it's one of the most expansive streets in the world. So many interesting things here. World's famous Apple Store, Trump Tower with BLM mural in front of it, Flatiron Building, St. Patrick's Cathedral, a gorgeous Catholic cathedral that was built in 1878, Empire State Building, and so much more. A section of Fifth Avenue running from 34th to the 60th Street is a concentration of boutique shops and expensive high-end stores. This is where Audrey Hepburn freezes on the sidewalk and stares at the jewelry store window in Breakfast at Tiffany's. Now let's relocate to Lower Manhattan. This is the center of the financial universe known as Wall Street. Bankers and stock traders rush to their offices early in the morning. The city's security industry represents over 163,000 jobs with an average salary of $422,000 a year. Impressive. This is where you find headquarters of JP Morgan Chase, Citigroup, and other financial giants. New York Stock Exchange and the Nasdaq, the world's largest stock exchanges, are both located here. This is the famous New York Stock Exchange. If you happen to own some American stock, this is where they're trading. I got some stocks, so I want to figure out what's going on. On Wall Street, you will find Trinity Church and Federal Hall. This is where in 1789, George Washington was officially proclaimed the first president of the United States. If you're bullish on the stocks, take a picture with the famous Charging Bull, a bronze sculpture which symbolizes the bullish market, financial optimism and prosperity. Nearby, another statue, Fearless Girl, promoting female empowerment. To get great views of the Lower Manhattan, just take a ferry. A lot of locals use it every day. It's very affordable and enjoyable. If you're looking for some awesome views of the city, you might want to check out the best observatories. First, the Empire State Building. It's a 102-story Art Deco skyscraper, which provides stunning panoramic views. It was the tallest building in the world from 1931 till 1970. From here you can see the Chrysler Building, considered by many to be one of New York's finest. Next, Top of the Rock, observatory on top of the Rockefeller Center built by the Rockefellers in the 1930s. It has an ocean liner style design and offers a 360-degree view of the entire Manhattan. Third, the highest observation point, One World Trade Center, the tallest skyscraper in New York and all of the US, completely enclosed and with a 360-degree view. One of the new additions is the Edge, located at the Hudson Yards, that has an observation deck with a glass floor. Sadly, we didn't get a chance to visit because it was too foggy on that day. Also, at the Hudson Yards, you can visit the Vessel. It's a 16-story structure of connected staircases. Very cool shape, and it reminds me of a beehive. Another great idea to get great views is to take a funicular ride to Roosevelt Island. This small island is in the middle of the East River between the shores of Manhattan and Queens. Today it's just another residential part of the city. This is Queensboro Bridge and we are in Roosevelt Island, and to get here you can take a cable car, which is part of the public transportation system of New York City, and the fare is the same as it is for the subway, $2.75. So, interesting fact, during the British colonial rule, this whole island belonged to one family, the Blackwells, and it was called Blackwell Island. But today is just another residential neighborhood. But the most exciting thing for me was to take a helicopter ride. If you wonder how much it cost, it was $300 for 30 minutes, and what's cool about it is that helicopter had no doors. If you can afford it, go for it. First I thought the ride would be shaky and all, but it turned out to be very smooth, like I was sitting in the car. On top of that, the city has over 50 rooftop bars popular for romantic dates and celebrations. New York City is the third city in the world with the most amount of skyscrapers after Shenzhen and Hong Kong. And rooftop bars are really popular here. So you basically get an observation deck and the bar all in one package.
Even if it ain't all it seems, I got a pocket full of dreams, baby. I'm from New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made.
Let's take a look at some other parts of Manhattan. Greenwich Village, or just the Village. It's an upscale area that was once the center of bohemian culture and various political movements, artists and writers. Rainbow flags attest to the neighborhood's LGBT-friendly vibe. At its heart is Washington Square Park. Musicians, skateboarders, dog owners, chess players, and NYU students all hang out around the historic fountain in the shadow of the arch, often used as a location in films and television shows.
We are in Washington Square Park, which I thought was a very pleasant area to be in. We see a huge police presence over there on both sides. And I asked them what the deal is. I thought there was some kind of event going on, but they said it's a pretty rough area, especially at night, which is very unexpected. New York is full of surprising places. Like, if you're a fan of Sex and the City, this is where Carrie Bradshaw used to live, and she was running down the stairs to catch a taxi.
Breezy, hello, Breezy. It's good to see you, everybody. Hello, everybody. Good to see you.
I saw some NYU students protesting, and I wanted to know what their demands were, so let's go and talk to them.
So the graduate workers at NYU are on strike right now, and they're demanding fair compensation, better healthcare, and getting cops and like ICE, immigration officers off campus to protect international and immigrant students.
Soho. Since the 20th century, Soho has been the location of many art galleries. Today, it's an affluent area with cobblestone streets and elegant cast iron facades, designer boutiques, and high-end art galleries. It's a top shopping and nightlife destination. Directly from Soho, you will find Chinatown and Little Italy. Manhattan's Chinatown feels like real China, with its numerous greengrocers and fishmongers, tea rooms, and dim sum parlors. Since 1850, this area has been inhabited by immigrants from China. Today, New York has the largest population of Asians, more than San Francisco and Los Angeles combined. Being a minority, they're doing pretty well for themselves. How's that? The secret is a hard work ethic. These areas also have a higher rate of college-educated residents and lower crime rates.
How do you like living here?
It's okay for me, but my wife, my son, they love it.
They love it?
For me, I don't like this. Too crowded.
What should I try?
I think I like beef and
Beef?
yeah.
Okay.
His stomach, I don't like it.
Stomach, you don't like it? They have a lot of interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Chicken feet, all of that. That's good. We are in Chinatown and we're gonna try something that I tried in Taiwan, and that is bubble tea. So let's dip in. I wanted to order some bubble tea.
Nearby, you'll find Little Italy. When Italian immigrants started moving to this Manhattan neighborhood in the late 1800s, they brought their customs, food, and language. Today, however, it's nothing like what it used to be. It's become very touristy. and has changed significantly under the influence of Chinatown.
I'm leaving today. Guys, the famous Umberto's Clam House. Food delicious. Are you hungry? I'm Italian.
Chelsea is Manhattan's art district that mixes a variety of architectural styles, from elegant 19th century townhouses to housing projects. It's known for having a large LGBTQ population, with one of Chelsea's census tracts reporting that 22% of its residents were gay couples. If you get hungry, go to Chelsea Market.
We have come to Chelsea Market to have something to eat. This is a wonderful place, lots of choices. And from what I've learned, it used to be a factory where Oreos were invented in 1912. So let's go check it out. Well, of course I got bowl of chili. You know, from a time in the South, I learned to really love this dish. So chili soup is for me the best choice.
Tribeca. Once home to industrial warehouses, Tribeca is now the city's richest zip code, with an average income of $879,000 a year and a median home price of $3.8 million. Even Jay-Z once purchased a penthouse here for $6.8 million after he traded Brooklyn for Manhattan. Yeah, I'm at the Brooklyn, now I'm down in Tribeca, right next to De Niro, but I'll be hood forever. Really? Why'd you move then, Jay? Tribeca has it all. Elegant townhouses and modern high-rises, trendy restaurants, and a spectacular view of the Hudson River on its western border. And finally, Billionaires Row. It's a set of super tall luxury towers on the southern edge of Central Park. The cheapest condo here goes for $3 million, and the most expensive units are north of $60 million. What are the downsides of Manhattan? Well, let me just say there are a lot of homeless people. As of January 2020, New York had an estimated 91,000 people experiencing homelessness on any given day, according to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. While most of them are peaceful, random attacks are happening way too often.
Sir, excuse me, I said. Sir!
During my stay, 2 girls from Russia were attacked and robbed by some crazy homeless person. Another complaint is the bad smells, and yes, that includes marijuana. It's everywhere. You can't really escape it because there's going to be someone walking in front of you who starts smoking, and it's really annoying for someone who's not a pothead like me. Locals don't seem to be noticing any of those problems. In fact, many of them just put on headphones pretending they're too busy to be bothered with anything else. I've really seen some ugly stuff, like a guy urinating into a bottle in the middle of the street. Piles of, don't get me started, okay? I think these things should not be happening in a place that claims to be the world capital. Also, the city seems to be constantly in the process of renovation. Scaffolding is everywhere. Some say companies just install scaffolding on purpose to make sure nothing falls on anybody's head, and thus protecting themselves from a potential lawsuit. What about garbage? The garbage collection system is set up in a way that huge garbage bags are piled on the sidewalks waiting to be collected. And sometimes these piles get really big. They have to do it this way because Manhattan does not have courtyards, and they only get collected several times a week.
Garbage bags can really pile up at the end of the week. You know, there's one pile, another pile, which is almost blocking the entrance to this building.
Manhattan is full of contrast. $2 hot dog stands stay side by side with expensive boutiques on Fifth Avenue. Extremely wealthy people are walking the same streets as the homeless. Some people might get the impression that Manhattan only has Central Park and the rest is nothing but a concrete jungle. But it's not like that. There are green areas scattered all throughout the island, like Bryant Park, located next to the New York Public Library main branch. It has a huge lawn where people are reading newspapers, playing ping pong, chess, and backgammon. In the winter, we will have a skating rink here. Another great park is Madison Square Park. It's located at the intersection of Broadway and the Fifth Avenue, overlooking the Flatiron Building. It's a great place to unwind and enjoy a gelato on a hot summer day or a cup of coffee in the fall. One of the most exciting additions to the city is the High Line. It was created in 2009 and it's a 1.4-mile long elevated greenway. It's a unique walkway with spectacular views on the old rail of Manhattan.
If you guys are looking for some green space in New York City and some architectural inspirations, then look no further than the Highland. You're really going to enjoy it.
I find it to be a great example of repurposing old industrial areas to something enjoyable for everyone.
I feel like we get it off as friends, like right off the bat. Yeah.
Right next to it, you'll find Little Island, located right on the Hudson River. It covers 2.4 acres and is supported by 132 pot-shaped structures called tulips, suspended above the water, featuring shows at a waterslide amphitheater. It's a perfect place to unwind, walk around, explore, and listen to some live music. Let's see what it's like.
You do it. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up.
Ready for the space. Zanzibar got me in the space. Comfortable to kiss your face. Living up under your arms. Night is shiny and calm. I'm looking at you. The light is blue. You got a view of the stars.
Roads in New York City are far from perfect, a lot worse than in the rest of the US. In the US generally you can do without a car, but New York is an exception. More than 55% of New Yorkers do not have a car. Almost everyone told me not to drive here, and that's why I wanted to do it. I had a rental car and I wanted to know what it's like being a driver here. Street parking in New York is a matter of luck. Most of the time, your surest bet is a parking garage. Day parking can be as high as $60, and this is what parking looks like in Manhattan. And if you forgot to pay for parking, the ticket can be hefty. A guy who parked next to me received a $120 fine because his parking time expired.
Owning a car in New York City is no joke, and especially when it comes to parking. So let's take a look at the price.
$550 a month. That's just to park your car. And don't forget about all the tolls going in and out of Manhattan, and they can be as high as $16 one way if you don't have an Easy card, which I didn't. Manhattan is an island, and therefore there are many bridges and tunnels, like Brooklyn Bridge, Manhattan Bridge, and George Washington Bridge, which connects New York with the state of New Jersey. The Lincoln Tunnel, which carries 120,000 vehicles a day, is the busiest car tunnel in the world. New York is a pretty walkable city thanks to its grid pattern layout, but it's also quite bike-friendly, with more than 1,200 miles of bike lanes and routes.
In New York, you also got to watch out, not just for the cars, but also for the cyclists. Man, they're so fast and they appear out of nowhere. Like here you can see them, but sometimes you just can't. They can knock you over, you know.
When it comes to public transportation, New York City Subway is the largest single operator rapid transit system worldwide, with 472 rail stations. It's open 24/7, which is not something you find in other major cities. It's the busiest metropolitan rail transit system in the Western Hemisphere, with 1.7 billion passenger rides in 2015, while Grand Central Terminal, also referred to as Grand Central Station, is the world's largest railway station by number of train platforms. The downside of New York subway is that it's not the cleanest and not the safest. In 2020 alone, there were over 600 robberies, 6 murders, 7 rapes, and that's not to mention countless stabbings and people getting pushed into the rails. I don't understand why they can't just install platform screen doors like they do in other countries. Here's a little tip. When you're traveling in Manhattan, before you enter a subway station, look if it says uptown or downtown. This way you know if that's the right one. Also, you don't have to buy those confusing Metro cards anymore because you can just tap your credit card when you enter, and that's so much more convenient.
It worked.
The most beautiful subway station is the World Trade Center station, designed by architect Santiago Calatrava. From outside, the structure is known as the Oculus, and it looks futuristic, and it reminded me of the whale skeleton.
And that's a magnificent structure resembling some kind of an animal, maybe like a whale. It took so many years to build, and it also got a lot of criticism from the locals because it cost the city a whopping $3.9 billion when the original cost was supposed to be $2 billion.
Nearby there is a memorial to 9/11 tragedy. It's a forest of white oak trees with 2 square pools in the center, marking where the Twin Towers stood. While the World Trade Center Memorial speaks of the past and remembrance, One World Trade Center speaks about the future and hope. It was first named Freedom Tower, and I wish they kept this name. Today it's the tallest skyscraper in the US and the 6th tallest building in the world by pinnacle height. The building's architect is David Childs, who also